Okay, so I bought this wheelie. I this has been on my list of things to get. One of the reasons I was thinking about this, one of the reasons I was jazzed for this to come out. I mean, I have a couple wheelies. Wheelie is a character that I'm interested in, I like and want to collect. One of the reasons I was thinking today that Wheelie might be my first source of like brand disappointment in my life. I did not own a wheelie, but my friend had one, and I recall being so disappointed by this very toy. It might be the first time, yeah, that I felt real disappointment in a product in my life. But now 40 something years, or I guess 40 years. I guess it's 2026.
I should not have spent money on toys, but I did. So let's look at
Interested in this, and I was driving around, and my GPS was on. I was going home today, and there's a point where you're driving around following the GPS, and at a certain point, you know where you are, and you can turn it off. And I got to the point where I knew where I was, but I noticed that the GPS was taking me it wanted me to take a right when I was like, well, a left takes me home. And I was like, let's see, this is such a funny story. This is like a drug addict explaining why they ended up buying drugs. But I took the left, or whatever it took. I took it just to see where it wanted me to go. And wouldn't you know it, on today of all days, the GPS just wanted to take me past Walmart. And I figured I would stop in just to pee, and maybe I'd look at and I knew I was going to see if Wheelie was there. Like that specifically. There's a couple other guys there. I mean, a lot of the stuff they had there are guys that I want. So hopefully this isn't going to. Hopefully this isn't some kind of relapse. I'm not like trying not. I mean, I am trying not to buy them, but anyway, there was one left. So guess what happened? I fucking bought it. So I guess that these characters in this packaging are Age of the Primes. I've heard this packaging referred to as like something retro card back. These are Walmart exclusive. They've done a bunch of, and I think they've all been the mini cars from the original series in deluxe form now. But this is a Walmart exclusive line of like, yeah, retro card back, and this is the original Wheelie art. I hated this figure. That's not what he looked like in the cartoon. I didn't understand why I hated the flip up visor. And looking at him, he does have a little bit of a visor. This version of the action figure. I don't know if I have looked too close at my other wheelies. I say I have one and a half. Now I'm gonna have 2.5 wheelies because the one that comes with Grimlock doesn't really count. Should we look at my other wheelies before we even open this up? All right, so it does kind of have a weird little. It's funny that weird little visor on the original toy annoyed me so much, and I've like seen this movie 1,000 times, but I never really took note that someone at some point must have been like, well, the character does have kind of a little visor on. I like never really, yeah, because I was about to sit down and say, well, I guess he always did have a weird little visor. Anyway, that's a weird thing to notice right now. Or anyway, so this is Studio Series 86. This is the movie toy. This is a core class wheelie. As you can see, he is much smaller than this deluxe wheelie. So this deluxe wheelie is, scale is definitely figurative, especially when you take into consider mass shifting and other shit like that. But I do think this is the proper scale compared to some of my other 86 movie toys. This is the wheelie that comes with Grimlock, and it's basically an accessory. It doesn't transform, which would be fine. I would have no complaints about that. I really don't, yeah, I never really have complaints, but you could give this guy knee joints. He could stand up normal, you know. He's made to clip onto Grimlock's shoulder. He you got a port there and a little peg there, and he can clip onto the shoulder in either form, but shouldn't he be able to stand on his own? He can kind of almost do a weird squatting if he's squatting and shooting at ants or something. But this is a Gen 2 wheelie, I guess, with the blue plate. I don't know anything about Gen 2 or what was actually released. There probably wasn't even a wheelie release. They probably just made in blue and yellow to go with cream. I have no idea. Maybe there was. But those are my other wheelies. Let's look at the new one. Jeez. Wow, I don't know how much, hopefully, everything else I just said was recorded. I realized I was just talking for a while without recording, but anyway, the back of the card, I already talked about this, but classic. That is a, I think this is year 2 art. You know, this shit looks really good. I love this packaging, and I want to... Oh yeah, I didn't really say this time. I don't know if I need to, but this is an unboxing, not a full review. I like to play with them for a little while and, you know, transform them a couple times, have them on my desk, whatever, and then do a full review with full thoughts. But this is the unboxing. And I would like to. I only have one of these cards has survived enough for me to leave it on the wall, and I definitely have 3. Did I get the 2 that came out? Did this guy come out at the same time as Sea Spray? So this is the 5th one I have. I think only Outback, which I don't know if is out now. They did not have him at Walmart today. This was the only retro card back guy they had, but I think I have them all except Outback that came out at the same time as this guy. Oh no, Power Glide. You know what? Now I don't know. Now I'm confused because I've been looking at pre-orders and I don't know what's out and what's not. But Power Glide is also, I think, coming to this series. Power Glide might not. That might be like a Studio Series Power Glide or something. Anyway. So anyway, what I would like is to preserve the card back, and I haven't been able to, I guess, on 3 attempts so far. I feel like that Brawn one, it just like came right. See, look, if it rips even, bronze is ripped a little on the very base, man. It's like, you know, it's pretty hard to avoid, although I feel like I'm about to get it. Because you want it to not rip the image off of the cardboard. It's gonna obviously rip a little bit, but as long as it's not ripping that surface paper off and I can get it off, then I'm gonna be happy. This is not going great, yeah. So this is gonna not be, there's like nothing you can do if you can see about the amount of the image that's over my thumb. I mean, there probably is something I could do. I could probably steam them off or something, but like this card is probably not gonna end up on the wall. Unfortunately, I feel like someone who designed, this packaging is beautiful. You should design some plastic zip or something that I can pull. They wouldn't be able to, well, I mean, I was about to say that people wouldn't be able to like cheat and exchange these with other figures in the box, but that's not, so I mean, that's not, I don't know. This is probably not going to be on the wall. Maybe I should see, I'm sure I have the other cards. I should see how bad they came out because this is not, you know, anyway, I would like it if I were more capable. There's something I can probably figure out that I can do of saving the card. All right, so here's Wheelie removed from the card. I do like these plastic things that slide apart like this. I like it. I don't like these plastic thingies. I should find out what the term for these is. I do not like them, but I like removing and collecting them from this plastic inlay better than from the cardboard they're normally attached to. Underneath, at the bottom of this piece, there is a little card that says Autobot Wheelie on it. There's the credits, and here's the instructions. So maybe we'll get rid of the packaging first, but it looks like I'm taking a peek at the instructions. And I'm excited to figure out how to do this. I really like this character. I like that little car. I like that weird little alien car. Let's see what we can do with this guy. Let's get the thingies off. I should find out what those weird little bands with little cross hooks on them are called. I gotta make sure to hit record. I did one. Start talking into, oh, these are the more rubbery ones, but there's also 2 different qualities of these little bands. I don't like it when they're the rubbery one. Boy, that went flying. I don't even know if I cut it or if I pulled the, man. I was just saying I like it better when they're in plastic, but I don't even know where that went. I did find it. It's right there. So they did cut, and the other part must have gone flying away. I hate losing these things. I hate those things. The hard plastic version is bad enough. I really dislike the flimsy rubber one. So we're gonna cut it. Look, it's like doing like operation or some shit. Got to make sure boy, I should really look up the term for these little plastic bits if I dislike them so much. But I'll tell you what, pretty cool. It looks like Wheelie only has got 2 of them holding him in here. I could be wrong. His head's not coming out. I think that's just his backpack and shoulders in this plastic form-fitted Han Solo tray. All right, and he's got one weapon? I thought this guy came with like a little pistol. We'll see. So there's his slingshot. Let's get that out of this weird form-fit. Boy, this is, yeah, whoa, it's really, this one is very form-fitting, this plastic form. I'll cut this part out. Let's, I may have seen a picture of him holding like a gun from another toy. You know what I mean? But like I said, once I play with him for a while, we'll check his posability and everything. I always check the feety. I always check the ankle joints though, because, oh, very nice, stiff, tight ankle joints. And looks like it works pretty good. It looks like he poses pretty good, which is, you know, what I expect from these newer guys. But let's throw away this packaging. Let's throw away all that plastic bullshit and then see if we can transform it. All right, let us see here. Let us look at these instructions. That's not the beginning. Yeah, I must have seen a photo of this guy. Yeah, even looking at the accessory, that first accessory panel of the instructions. I must have seen a photo someone posted of this guy holding a gun from another toy. And I guess I don't have anything to compare it right now, but that almost looks like bigger than a 5mm peg. I probably just don't have anything like on the desk or anything to compare it to right now. Let's see, there's a Tarn right here. Oh. I didn't quite disengage this ankle joint. This is my favorite thing about modern. Let's see. Let's take that ankle joint for a spin. Why don't we? Let's really take a look at it. Because some of them, you know, some of them tilt about this far. And that's okay. It's my preference when they tilt further. This looks like a small one where it just tilts a little bit, but even that much really helps these guys stay balanced. Like, I think it's an incredible discovery. An incredible piece of toy engineering. The Transformer ankle joint. Okay, so we are going to fold his arms outwards. Oh man, I wonder how much this is going to be like the little 86 core class guy I have, because we're going to, although I think the core class guy, I don't think this comes quite up as much. Let's see. Oh, it says something. Oh, we're flapping these flaps out. He's got ass flaps. Not exactly like thundercrackers. We'll point out whatever kind of weird flaps. So it says this. Oh, maybe it's just part of. Yeah, there we go. That opens up like that in back. And this flips upwards. Ooh, it's on a double joint. Oh yeah, it flips upwards and opens like this. It looks like on the instruction. It's always kinda. I mean, these particular instructions are very big and clear. We're gonna get to some point where I disagree about what I just said, I'm sure. But yeah, I keep going back to like how I feel like they keep getting better and better. I've only been doing this for like a couple years, but like I was just so impressed with the modern toys, and I really like this. I complain a lot about the instructions, and these are pretty clear, pretty good looking sheet of instructions. So I'm just credit where credit is due. I think I'm always impressed with these toys. Let's look at his head. I always talk about the face sculpt, and I love them. I feel like these toys are so like, I don't know, faithful, loyal, movie accurate, especially when in 1986 I was shown a Wheelie toy that I was excited to see what Wheelie was like, and it had the terrible flip up visor with face embedded in his chest. He looked like I don't know, some kind of Japanese demon with a face in the middle of his chest. A Bobo. I just saw a picture of a Bobo from the movie, which was a ridiculous looking creature. Anyway. Looks like we got a special little hinge on the shoulder, so not like this. We want this hinge. Oh, that's way too close, but we want this to pop upwards, this gray piece in the shoulder. Let's see if that's because this is obviously on a hinge anyway. Oh, but it looks like that's the It looks like that's where the actual hinge is, right in the middle of the shoulder. I mean, this piece, I was just talking about how I'm going to get to a piece of the instructions where I'm not sure, but that is certainly that gray piece. Moving upwards, it does look like it's attached right at that juncture. Oh, maybe this goes down. Maybe the arm is going down into just a little bit. If you could see that, how I moved that right there. Okay. And this stays more like this, I think. Looks like on the instructions, more like that. Okay. This headpiece kind of is just floating, although the next instruction says to kind of do this with it. So, okay. Oh, and then we're going to close this up and become the back of the cab. And turn it around. This, oh, his whole assembly, yep, flips up. That's where the head goes. Thank God they gave Wheelie a head finally. And whatever that core, I'm sure there'd been other Wheelies before that core class came out. It was the first time I had seen something that was so thoroughly not like the movie. You know the feeling when, you know, certainly 1,000 things, and you're like, that's not what the guy looks like in the movie. That's not what the guy did in the other thing. This was my first moment of that's not accurate, faithful, whatever. That toy did not look like Wheelie in the movie. All right. Arms flip up and kind of down, and we're going to keep that shoulder where it was. That doesn't seem right, though. That doesn't seem right, the location of those wheels. I'm sure we'll get another. Maybe they're not coming totally down, but this is what I'm looking at. And yeah, those wheels are still pointing up, so let's turn the instructions over. The next instruction is to flip that so the wheels are where we expect them to be. And something with the hands. Oh, the hands separately? Yeah, the hands separately, because now they're, okay, weird. Flip that, and then flip the hand the other way. Okay. And then they go in. Ooh, and then they click into, the hands should click into the ass flaps. Ooh, blarg. The hands should clip into the ass flaps right here like this. I might not have this hand totally oriented correctly. There we go. Oh, a little, does not quite click right in. Doesn't exactly snap in, but that should be like that. Yeah, like this and like this and like that. Oh yeah, the shoulder snaps into place, that's for sure. Okay, that's good. That one feels better. I'm sure that when the whole thing snaps in together, it'll all hold itself together. It feels good. The figure feels very tight and snappy, and everything snaps together, which they should. There's only a few. I was bitching about the treads. I wonder if I called him Threads earlier. I was bitching about the Treads figure that I have. Anyway. Oh yeah, I was also thinking of Kranix. Kranix is not obviously going to be a retro card back. He never had a retro card, but Kranix is another, yeah, he's not a mini card, but that's another deluxe guy coming out this year that I absolutely need. There's always going to be this part. There's always going to be a part in the unboxing where I accidentally snap off a friction joint. So let's see. Yeah, I do appreciate that on these friction joints, you can see which way they're supposed to be assembled. You can kind of, yeah, you can see that there's like a divot leading into where the joint sits. I appreciate that. That's a nice detail. That might not be for me. That might be for the assembler, but the idea of the friction joint is that it's not going to break, you know? Oh, geez. Maybe if this was open, it would. Oh, and I think I was putting it on. Yeah, I was putting it on backwards. So hooray for me. There we go. Very nice. No big deal. Almost a little car. Got some later. Okay, so let's get those ankle joints back into place. The feet fold down. the legs turn around like this, or let's see. We're looking at the crotch in the instructions, and it looks like we're turning them around. Yes, so the wheels are on the outside. I mean, that would make sense, the wheels being on the outside. All right, and does this snap together like this? We've got two of those not non-synchronous. What's the term that is not non-synchronous? Asymmetric. Asynchronous? Is that what you call like Dark Souls? And asymmetric is like that horror movie game. 4v1. That doesn't snap together totally great. We'll see if it holds together when the whole thing is transformed. It's not hitting anything. It's not like the feet are in the way, but that... So those asynchronous... What's non-asynchronous? Asymmetric. Pegs are not... And the knees are really tight here. That's where they're supposed to be, but those two pegs are not pegging too great. But let's see. Let's continue and see what happens. From this position, we want these thingies to go forward. There, that's going to be the front of... Boy, this is even a really good version of the little Cybertronian car. I don't know if he's from Cybertronian, from Cybertron. But, you know, the alien cars and planes I always think of as Cybertronian cars and planes. I'm sure I have referred to Wheelie as a Cybertronian car before. All right, so crotch piece pegs in right there. That might hold everything when I get all of this. And all of this shit is going to be held in place by everything else, not these two asyncratic, symptomatic, hypochondriac pegs. Yeah, because that doesn't even, that doesn't even really... It's gonna, once this snaps in right here, it's gonna snap together on the bottom. See what I'm looking for? There's a thing right there that goes in right there. But something, yeah, there's a little something at the front right there happening. It's not gonna be in focus with this coming right at the camera, but yeah, so there's a little, yeah, so that works. That went in very nicely. Oh, and this is not going, it's because of these, oh, do I have these on the wrong? They're on the wrong asyncratic, asymptomatic, sonogrammatic, synchronous. Are they asynchronous or what's the other one? Jesus, boy, this is turning into a... All right, let's see if I can snap this together and stop talking about vocabulary. Right, I think these two are the way they should be. And I think okay. Yeah. All right, yeah, wow. I was like, okay. When those two were together, this snapped right together. This is, wow. It looks great. I mean, I love this character and this vehicle. This is really snappy. I love these front, whatever this is that I'm touching, these wheel covers, the way they kind of extend outwards. I'm not sure if my other wheelie has exactly that. That's a little bit loose right there, but it's okay. Everything else is held together and plugged in. There's always some parts that are a little bit loose, but sometimes you figure it out. Sometimes once you transform them a few times, you figure out what you did wrong. Because like these arms don't look fully snapped into me right here, actually. Yeah. Wow. All right. So that's much more, yeah. That's much more solid, actually. Yeah, you end up noticing, like, there's a few small little pegs you might not snap in. Now, where does the weapon store? Under the nose. Oh, yeah. It almost has a bit of a... Looks a little bit like a little bit of a gun or something pointing out of the front, or maybe just part of the undercarriage. No, it looks like he's got a little bit of a pew-pew sticking out right there. Let's take a look at my other wheelie, because I feel like these are not... I don't know why these are so sexy. I always got to mention some sexy part of a car or a robot. You know, I'm using a slightly adjusted definition of the term sexy, just to make sure that no one gets Here's core class wheelie, a little bit, yeah, not quite as much of the accentuated sexy wheel guards or whatever you call those. Man, actually, yeah, this is a very nice alien car. Whatever. I wonder if he's quintessent. I wonder what he would describe his race as. I'm also not too sure what he would describe his gender as. I'm using the term he, but I'm not totally sure if that is accurate. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was going to say else about this little car. His fists are sticking out the back. That's not my favorite. Like, a lot of the core class guys have fists sticking out here or there, which is, fine. Not my favorite, but this is a much more realized, this is an awesome wheelie. I'm very glad that I bought this today. I gotta stop fucking buying toys. Yeah. I have claimed that I will one day do full reviews of all these guys. I've done some a year ago. Maybe I will do some more, but I am, I haven't done like a review that hasn't been some kind of unboxing in a minute, but maybe I will. And maybe we'll talk more about this collection. I should have a video up by now. That's a collection tour or whatever, an update of all this bullshit. So like and subscribe or do whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say at the end of a YouTube video. Thank you.